Hi, I'm Scarlett. My parents' love story started out like a fairy tale. Once upon a time, there was an aspiring sculptor. While walking around and looking for inspiration, he saw a beautiful girl and asked her to become his model. The sculptor, my dad, created a sculpture of a beautiful angel. A rich man bought his work. It brought Dad success, and he became famous overnight. The girl became his muse and kept inspiring him. Soon after that, they got married and had me. When I was 9, Dad was already a renowned sculptor. One day, he received a huge commission. Dad worked from dawn till dusk for days on end. Mom quickly drew bored once he stopped paying attention to her. Anthony, I used your credit card and bought us 3 tickets to Bali. Take a break and spend some time with your family.
Eleanor, I will be fired if I go on vacation instead of completing my work on time. You and Scarlett should go together. Bill will keep you company.
Bill was Dad's best friend. I liked him. Bill worked as a teacher and knew many fascinating stories. Mom agreed to Dad's plan, and soon the 3 of us were on our way to Bali. We rented a small villa there and relaxed on the beach every day. Things were going great until one night I couldn't sleep and went outside. There, I saw something I wasn't supposed to. Mom and Bill looked like a couple in love. I was afraid they were going to kiss any moment. Scarlett, it's not what you're thinking.
We were just dancing.
Dad doesn't need to know about this. You don't want him to be sad, do you? I didn't, but most importantly, I didn't want anyone to lie to my dad. He was a good man and taught me to always tell the truth. So when I got home, I did just that. The conversation between Mom, Dad, and Bill was long and tense. In the end, Dad believed it had just been a harmless dance. They decided to forget about everything. But after that incident, it was like a chasm formed between my mom and me. Your dirty mouth almost destroyed our family. Mom changed and was no longer affectionate with me after that. Or maybe she just took off a mask and showed her true face. Soon after that, Mom got pregnant. At first, Dad was happy. But then it became clear he was actually plagued by doubt.
What if the baby isn't mine?
What? Are you accusing me of something?
I need some time to think.
It's your fault he doesn't trust me anymore. I knew that. The guilt felt like a heavy stone that I now carried with me every day. A couple of days later, Bill announced that he was going to become a volunteer. He went to Indonesia and started to work as a teacher at a village school there. 9 months later, there was a new addition to our family. Mom gave birth to triplets. My parents called them Mia, May, and Maggie. I did a DNA test. These are your daughters. You and Scarlett should be ashamed of yourselves. How could you think I would cheat on you? Things calmed down for a while, but the peace didn't last long. Eventually, my parents started to fight more and more often over just everything. Luckily, my best friend Natalie always helped me take my mind off the sad situation in my home. Are your parents fighting again? Yeah, I think my mom hates me. Your mom hates everyone. She's so mean. I think she might be a witch. Are you serious? Absolutely. I'm glad you're smiling again. In the future, Natalie and I wanted to open a hair salon and work with celebrities. We like to draw our future salon and imagine what it would look like.
What are you doodling?
Give it back, you idiot!
Wait, I know exactly what your hair salon needs.
You've ruined everything! I'll wipe boogers all over you!
You can't catch me! Your legs are too crooked.
I hate my brother. Nick was a pain in the butt and often teased us, but we didn't take it lying down. One day, while Nick was sleeping, we painted his nails, took a picture of him, and showed it to all his friends. Natalie hated Nick with all her heart, but I secretly thought he was funny. My relationship with Mom hadn't improved by the time I turned 17. Scarlett, didn't I tell you to go to the store? How am I supposed to drink my morning coffee without almond milk? I'll go to the store as soon as I'm done with my essay. Mom, let's go to the park and eat ice cream. Do you see this bird's nest? My hairdresser's screwed up. Mommy's not going anywhere until she gets her hair done. Natalie has been interning at a hair salon for 2 months now. She's very talented. Let her fix your hair. She'll do great. Natalie, your friend from the slums? She probably works at a shabby salon. I'm on another level. My friend was confidently moving towards her dream. However, I'd long since changed my mind about becoming a hairdresser. When I was a kid and sketched our salon, I realized that I wanted to become an architect. When I told Natalie about it, she, overreacted a bit. What do you mean you don't want to be a hairdresser? It was our dream, traitor! My friend resented me and wanted to burn the whole city down. That went on for several months. But eventually, Natalie calmed down and we made up. Nick, how did you get in here?
I snuck in through the window. Aren't I romantic?
Someone could have seen you, silly.
I was careful.
Over the years, Nick and I realized that we like each other, but we kept our relationship a secret. We knew my parents wouldn't approve of a guy from a poor family, and Natalie still hated her brother. She would never forgive me for such a betrayal.
Do you want to go to Mike's party tomorrow?
Sorry, I already promised Natalie I would go with her, so...
We'll have to pretend like we hate each other as usual. I'm sick of this. When are you going to tell Natalie about us?
As soon as the moment's right. The next moment, I heard Dad calling me and asked Nick to leave. Is something wrong?
To be honest, things at work haven't been going well lately. I have almost no clients. Your mom's spending too much money and we haven't even paid off the mortgage for the house yet.
I'm sure we'll be fine. You just need to get some rest.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Bill recently sent me an email and invited me to Indonesia.
Go for it. It'll be the break you need.
You're right, but I need to finish a sculpture first. By the way, Scarlett, would you like to be my model?
Of course! Watching Dad's work was very exciting, but then I heard the clack of Mom's heels and realized that something bad was about to happen. Why didn't you ask me to pose for you? Is Scarlett your muse now?
Eleanor, I didn't want to distract you. You're so busy raising our triplets.
That's right! We need a babysitter!
You know money is tight right now.
My dad was right! You're a pathetic loser! I wasn't in the mood to have fun, but I didn't want to ruin my friend's mood and tried to smile. Look, my stupid brother is here too. Right. I'll get another soda.
Hey, are you okay?
How can you tell I'm upset? I've been smiling all evening.
I simply felt it.
My parents fought again, that's all. It was probably my fault. Perhaps I should postpone college and help Mom take care of the triplets.
Don't sacrifice yourself to earn your mother's love. It's a parent's job to take care of their children. Your job is to study.
Not for the first time. I thought that Nick was the one for me. I was about to pull him into a hug, but then... Scarlett, what's taking you so long? I was arguing with your brother. He crept up to me from behind and scared me. That's just like him. I'm sorry. I didn't want her to find out like this. When I returned home, my sisters are crying. Are Mom and Dad fighting again? Yeah, they're in Dad's workshop. Go to your room. I'll make you some hot cocoa. But first, I wanted to talk some sense into Mom and Dad. The girls are crying because of you again.
Look what your mother has done. I won't get paid now.
For the millionth time, it wasn't me.
Oh, then a ghost must have done it. Enough is enough. I need a break from this woman. I'm going to Bill for 2 weeks.
Don't bother coming back. Unfortunately, her words turned out to be prophetic. Bill soon called us and told us terrible news.
Anthony's plane landed without any issues. He hired a guide to get to my village, but they got lost in the jungle.
God, this is a nightmare! They spent several weeks looking for Dad and his guide, but to no avail. Eventually, they were reported missing. We did not lose hope, but it was highly unlikely Dad would ever come back home. Grief brought Mom and me closer, and we finally reconciled. They say when it rains, it pours. Soon, we realized how much debt we were in. Mom started to sell our property to pay it off, but it wasn't enough. We were behind on mortgage payments and were evicted from our house as a result. Since Mom hadn't worked a day in her life, she didn't know how to take care of us. It's time to move on to Plan B. My parents are wealthy people. They will help us. You said our grandparents passed away. I meant they're dead to me. My parents wanted me to marry a guy they chose, but I picked Anthony. My father disapproved of him and cut me out of his life and will for disobeying. If I make up with my parents, we'll have enough money to get by for sure. That's a great idea. However, my father can't know that I gave children to a man he didn't approve of. Let's do this. You and the triplets are going to stay with Natalie for the time being. I'll make up with my father and then introduce him to his granddaughters. My friend's parents agreed to take us in, but they warned us that they did not have enough money to feed all of us. Don't worry about that. I'll get a job. Anyway, the triplets and I moved into Natalie and Nick's house. Mom went to her parents' place. Later, she got me a job as a maid at my grandparents' house. Don't let it slip that you're their granddaughter. Grandma and Grandpa turned out to be demanding and arrogant people. Grandpa was confined to a wheelchair and seemed very ill, but that didn't stop him from being a bitter old man. Hey, maid, get me another cup of tea. Mine got cold. Be right back. But for some reason, Grandpa was kind to Mom. How had she managed to melt the heart of such a mean goblin? Mom, why is Grandpa in a wheelchair? Shh, don't call him that. His liver is failing. He needs a transplant. A few weeks went by like that. Mom settled in well. She went to dinner parties, shopped in boutiques, and drove around town in expensive cars. Meanwhile, my sisters and I were sleeping on the floor in Natalie's cramped house. Since you made up with your parents and have money now, could you take care of us again? When are you going to tell Grandma and Grandpa that they have granddaughters? Scarlett, I'll do it as soon as the moment is right. Have some patience. As time went on, problems kept piling up. Mom kept enjoying life instead of solving them. One day, there was a dinner party at my grandparents' house. I saw Mom talking to a man called Peter. He was the man Grandpa once wanted Mom to marry.
Eleanor has finally left her loser of a husband and chosen a worthy man to marry.
His words made my blood boil. While my poor dad was lost in the jungle, Mom was having the time of her life flirting with some jerk. I overheard their conversation when they were left alone.
Is your husband really missing?
Let's not talk about him. We're going to start a new life soon. I promised my father that he would get a piece of my liver. He was so happy that he agreed to change his will and leave everything to me. I'm not actually going to become a donor, though. That old man won't last long without surgery. As soon as I get my inheritance, the two of us will leave for Paris. Just you and me. My world was shaken. I did not expect such treachery, not even from my mother.
Do you still believe that your mom will come to her senses and remember she has daughters?
She said she was waiting for the right moment, but now I'm not sure about anything anymore.
You need to change your scenery. Come to my room in half an hour. There'll be a surprise waiting for you. Sorry, this is all I can afford.
Come on, it's very sweet. I kissed him, and at that moment, Natalie walked in on us. Why did you ask me to come to your room, Nick? It always stinks here. Natalie saw us kiss and immediately understood everything. My best friend is dating my nasty brother? This is officially the worst day of my life! Natalie ran off to destroy everything in her path. I barely held back from slapping Nick. You made sure Natalie would see us. How could you do that?
Scarlett, I'm tired of living a lie. You couldn't make up your mind, so I gave you a push. There was never going to be a right moment.
What did you just say? It was like my eyes had been opened. Nick was right. The right moment would never come. I had to act. Who are these cockroaches? Mom, we missed you. You've mistaken me for someone else. Go away. It's time to take off our masks. You shouldn't expect our mother to become your donor. She deceived you. These are your granddaughters, Mia, May, and Maggie. By the way, I'm your granddaughter too. Anthony is our father. I'm sorry, Mom. I let the truth slip after all. How dare you! You've ruined everything! Grandpa was furious with Mom. He kicked her out and swore he would disinherit her.
Get out of here, too. You're nobody to me. Don't even dream about getting my money.
Feel free to throw your money in the fireplace. Maybe that'll keep you warm. Let's go, girls. Who wants ice cream? In the evening, I tucked my sisters into bed and came out on the porch. Natalie was waiting for me there. She seemed to have calmed down. Why didn't you tell me that you were dating Nick? Remember how much you freaked out when I changed my mind about becoming a hairdresser? I was afraid that hearing about Nick would make you lose it. Does he make you happy? He really does. Nick is amazing. Then you have my blessing. Just don't kiss him in front of me or I'll puke. We stayed at Natalie and Nick's home for a while longer, until one morning. Dad!
Girls!
It turned out that Bill hadn't given up no matter how much time passed. He assembled a crew and found Dad and his guide. Soon we moved into a small but cozy house. Dad got new commissions and life kept slowly getting better. We didn't hear anything about Mom. Maybe she went to Paris with Peter. Or maybe she was just too ashamed of what she did to face us. Then one day, Grandma and Grandpa appeared on our doorstep.
Scarlett, you were right. Money didn't make me happy. I don't have much time left in this world. Let me do something good one last time. I want to get to know my granddaughters and leave my fortune to you.
To be honest, I still don't know what to say. I need your help. Should I give my grandparents a chance? Or do they not deserve it?